evening. Happy Tuesday. That's not my kitten, that's my other adult cat. She's just here. She's probably going to knock my drink of water over. Hi, welcome to Tell Me Tuesday. I wanted to, what did I say about coming across here? I said warn me so you don't knock my water down. Tell Me Tuesday. So today I am going to share a little bit about some of my things that have been going on recently, and I'm absolutely certain that there will be some stuff in what I'm sharing that will resonate and that will be supportive to some of the things that I know I'm seeing others going through at the moment. And how do we nurture ourselves from that place of having so much going on in our lives that we feel overwhelmed and exhausted, and giving our power away to other people as well. Because for me, that's been, in the last few days, that has been the realisation that I've had in connection to my circumstances over the last few months, and processing the emotional impact that has had and what that has meant for me in those months, and how that's got me really caught up in a lot of my old stories, which are then always presented to me for me to work through, process and release and make new stories for myself. And yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, for anyone who's new here, hi, I'm Davina. I'm an energy intuitive holistic therapist and spiritual activator, and I am live streaming. Cats are so cute. It's alright, that will go in a YouTube reel later and get me lots of views. YouTube short. Yeah. So yes, in the last 10 months, September of last year, we were evicted from our home where we'd lived for almost 10 years. We left just before we'd been there 10 years. Unexpectedly, we had no clue. There was no hint from our landlady or anything like that. And there was, what was written in the letter was emotionally impactful to myself. I don't want divulging just yet. Maybe I will be at some point. But yeah, what was written in the letter was emotionally impactful. It hit me in my heart and in my empathetic energy, which I suspect my landlady knew, and she was aware that we were making a change to our financial situation by stepping away from and out of the UK benefit system. And when that happened, when we got this eviction letter, I was looking around at how much things were going to be rental wise, and that set me into a state of panic, because I was aware that at that point my income was not going to match what private rental prices were and are currently, which brought up a lot of stuff around how everything is fucked, like the whole system, all the systems are all fucked, like the financial system is fucked, the government's political systems are fucked, the way that we're being controlled on a global level is fucked, everything is just like so it's so broken and it's so ready to change, and we've been stepping away from those systems for close to 20 years. We stepped out of religion, we stepped out of the education system. We chose that we wouldn't be in the education system before I'd even had my first, so almost 17 years ago. We knew that we'd not be sending any children that we had to school. We then stepped away from the medical system as much as we possibly could. All my babies were born in hospital just because I don't labour very well. Well, actually, I do labour very well. My body knows exactly what it's doing, but I didn't know then what I know now. So we've stepped very, very far away from the medical system. So we're like stepping further and further away from these things through our lives for like 20 years. And when you can see all of that and see the big picture of what's going on, and then you're doing everything you can to bring yourself out of those things, but you're still living in them. You're still living, we still have to live in a house where we still have to pay, for things with money. We still have to have heating and energy, and we still have to go to the supermarket and buy food or order food from I order from various online websites for like organic food, and we're doing all of that and stepping out of the UK benefit system was a powerful thing to do. I was super confident where we were in that house that I could do it, as I'd reflected through the few months in the lead up to receiving the eviction letter. And the reason why I think this is relevant for other people is that I felt the more and more I stepped away from those systems and those control aspects of what's going on in the world, that I can see more and more of where we've given our power away to these systems. We give our power away to the medical system by thinking that they have the answers when they clearly don't. They clearly don't, because of all the people that I see on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis who have test after test after test after test for their tiredness, their pain, their emotional state, their like other physical symptoms, stomach issues, breathing issues. They've gone test after test, and there's no answer in the medical system. And they come to me for some energy healing, and things start to ease up. Things start to clear. Their head starts to clear mentally. They become more focused and clear, and they can think a bigger picture. Physical things start to ease and release, and pain starts to diminish and things like that. And it's like the medical system as it stands doesn't have the answers, but we've given our power away to that for so long. The education system, we've home educated, said my eldest's 16, and we decided when I was pregnant with her around December of the year that I was pregnant. She was born in April. So yeah, 17 years this year. We decided we'd home educate. And in my time with, also my sister home educated her children. In my time with with people outside of the education system, looking at how schools are, the education system, particularly, at least here in the UK and other Western nations. In other Western nations, not all Western nations. I know there's some countries who are really nailing it with education. But this model of teacher at the front, students in rows, teacher tells you what to do, look at the blackboard, do what I say, everything's told as one curriculum, one way of doing things, and there's no openness to everybody's an individual and everybody has a different learning style and everybody has a different way of being. That education system, like, we give our power away. We think the teachers know best. I see it all the time. People within the home education community, or people who are new to the home education community, not knowing that they have the power to teach anything that they want to their children. You have everything that you need to know. You can find out, or you know. And I'm supporting my middle daughter with maths at the moment. She's got a maths tutor for GCSE because she wants to go to college, so she wants to know that she knows the level of mathematics that somebody of her age would know. And I'm sat doing what's the equivalent of year 6 SATs tests with her, that information to see what she knows. She knows it all. Like, it's not that she doesn't know it, just so we know where she's at for her going into things. There's things she doesn't know, and there's things that she really does know. And what it was demonstrating to me looking at her is, when we organically learn stuff, like through life, we learn in a much broader way. So I literally had to teach her things that are a middle step between what she knows and what she's learned and what she knows and what the answers are, so that she can have this middle step, because when you learn organically, you don't need that middle step. And the education system is wanting to teach you in a particular linear way, and we're not linear. It's like the biggest way to see how we're not linear. There's a whole big picture of other things there. So yeah, we've given our power away to that. For myself, gave my power away to religion and to God, an invisible force of. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an atheist. I wouldn't ever identify as an atheist. I believe there is super intelligent consciousness, creative life force energy, which created everything that we see. But I don't identify it as a male, all-being, all-knowing entity. But I gave my power away to that as being a thing that would strike me down for not belonging to the religion that I would identify as at the time. I gave my power away to the people within that religion, that they could excommunicate me, shun me. They could judge me, even though they sat there and they said, no, there is no God, there is no judge but God or Jesus or whatever. But that they would judge me, and then because of their judgment of me, other people would judge me, and other people did judge me. People judged me for my dancing, for my way of dress, for my outspokenness, for my femininity, for my sexuality, for my rebellious nature, for my critical thinking, like for my ability to see something wasn't right. And I gave my power away to that. So I spent my whole life giving my power away. And this is what we do. We feel like we're overwhelmed and burnt out and don't have the time or the space for the things that most support us, because we've given our power away to other people and stories of how things should be. And that piece of how we then feel like we're not good enough, or we're not able to make changes. When we were evicted, and I was like, I know that I thought that my landlady was better than me. just because of, you know, she owned a house. She had at one point while we were living in that house, she'd owned 3 houses, her own house and 2 rentals. Of course, that means that she's better than me because she's owning 3 houses and I'm here scraping by in her rental house. But she's very kindly only renting us for a fraction of what she could be getting for the area that it was in. Not, you know, she bought it relatively cheap and had a low mortgage on it. So, you know, we were only paying a small rental fee for where we were in the area. And that piece of thinking that people are better than us because of some idea that we've got in our heads that they know more than us, that they have more than us, therefore they're better than us, whether that's money, whether it's a better job, whether it's a bigger house, whether it's better education. That has also been a story through my life of like feeling like friends that I had who went to university, clearly knew more than me because they were in university, and I just about scraped through my GCSEs. And these are the ways that we give our power away. And these then make us hold ourselves back because, well, you know, I'm just a part-time carer, and therefore, like, I don't actually have any authority, or I can't actually do anything else, or just a student, like I can't actually know more than an adult, or I'm just a mum. What do I know? Well, you know, doctors got to know more than me because I'm just a mum. I can't possibly know more. My mum was a good example of this because she one of my sisters had chronic health conditions. She was born that way, and my mum would go to the doctor with her and go like, "There's something wrong." She did it with me as well. Like, there's something wrong. And the doctor would be like, no, it's just this, or it's just that, and it's nothing to worry about. And she'd go back again, there's something wrong. And my mum was, I would say 9.5 times out of 10, my mum was right. She knew what was wrong. But we give our power away to these people. And these organisations, these structures in society. And so then we think that we don't have the right to speak up for ourselves. This is what I found. Again, financial situation has been very, very challenging for the last 10 months. And no, we were all right for a couple of months because I'd got this income which I brought in, and for about, where are we in the year, July, for about 8 months things have been really challenging financially, and I'm constantly calling organisations, companies, and explaining over and over again, and it's like they have no clue, and it's really easy for me to give my power, like, oh, of course, you know, you're a business, you're an organisation, you're a utility company, you're a local authority, of course you know more than me. Really easy. We give our power away to them all the time. They're the local authority, they know what's right. They're the utility company, they have the right to turn my power off or disconnect my phone line. They have the right to do this, and we just give our power away and we just let them. And there's an element of fear for a lot of us that we don't call, because like, well, I'll be able to pay it in a couple of weeks. I'll just put up with having my phone disconnected because I'll be able to pay it in a few days. And it's like, I've definitely been guilty of that, where I've known that I've not been able to pay something, but I'm like, well, you know, I'll just do without it for a couple of days. It's all right. Like, I currently have no website for that same reason. And I don't know whether I could have contacted the website host and said, like, you know, this is my situation, help me. Maybe I could have done. Maybe I could have done that. It's only as I'm here now talking about it, I'm like, oh, there's another one that I've like given my power away. So what do we do about this? Like, what do we do about this? So in the activation I did on Saturday, I teach a technique where you just call your power back to yourself. You can visualize it coming into you from everywhere, from people, if you've got people in your life that you've given it away to, organizations, religions, teachers, the education system, university, partners, ex-partners, even our children. Like, we call our power back to ourselves. Feel it into your heart, like call it back into your heart. And then when you do that, when you regularly and consistently call your power back, bring it back into yourself and feel it into your heart, you kind of light up differently energetically. But also then we realize that we are powerful beings of light, and that we can then turn around to a telephone company and say, you are out of order for doing this. You can get in touch with a housing provider and say, you are you're out of order doing this. That, you know, you're expecting all of the people that pay you to be like this, and you know what? We're not all like that. Some of us, you know, they respect my boundaries, do it with partners, do it with children, respect my boundaries, respect my time, respect my energy, respect my experience in life. Like, I know I'm talking on the phone to people who are younger than me sometimes, and you're like, you know, I'm not a 20-year-old kid who doesn't know anything, but sometimes we still are. Like, sometimes inside we are still like a 15-year-old girl or boy who was insecure in their body and didn't know that they actually did know what the answers were to the question that they were facing in the big picture. So start small, you know me, baby steps. Start small, start with something small, with knowing that you have the authority and the power and the right within yourself to speak up for yourself in some way, to speak out for what you need and what you feel is right for you or for your family or for a situation that you're in. And start with those small baby steps. Make a wise choice today for what you do, like what you do with your energy, where you put your energy, what you eat, where you go, who you spend time with. And that might be, you know, who you spend time with by not scrolling social media or watching the TV news. Like, it's not just about who you might spend time with in like a social capacity, but like, stop giving your power away to the news media that is constantly saying, like, the world is doomed, we're all doomed, we're all like in self-destruct mode. Like, if we start to see more of the authentic love and care that people have right here in your communities, in your social circles, like face to face, or if you have online social circles, if you start to see that, then you stop being as impacted by the inflated situations that are there deliberately to harvest your energy, your fear, your compassion, your empathy. So that's what I did with my landlady. I bought her story, her emotionally manipulative story, and I took it into myself and was like, my empathy exploded in like, oh, this is a terrible situation to be in. And then allowed that to take away from me what was right for me, which the house moved. Like, you know, I am so happy to have left that house, which is probably falling down anyway. To be so much closer to where my community is, my people are, my soul tribe is, which is called soul, to where I'm based, so that it's so much easier for me to show up and be face to face with people, physically present with people who come to see me. And that has allowed me to have more energy for the family, for my clients that I don't see face to face, so who I'm speaking to daily on WhatsApp or Telegram. It's allowed me to have more time for that. So I could still have been like, oh, that's a shame, I'm just going to carry on now with, I could still have been empathetic, because it wasn't that she didn't lie, it's not that she lied about situations that impacted me, but I gave my power away to that by thinking that she did lie, by the way. She did lie, but not about the emotionally, not about the things that played on my emotions the most. But she had lied and did continue to lie. And now she's been found out. But yes, karma will get her. Yeah, the same situation there, the same scenario can be applied there to when we give our attention, allow ourselves to see a news story, be emotionally manipulated by it. We can still be empathetic to the terrible things that are going on in the world. I'm not for 1 minute saying we should ever ignore the terrible things that are going on in the world or in our communities. But we end up not making progress with ourselves because we're sucked into that pain of the terrible story that we've read, and we're emotionally sucked into it, and then we think we get it plays on the trauma response, the survival instinct, the fight or flight. It ruins our nervous system. We're in this state of like shock, and we then can't actually progress into our power and into the very, very, and this is, you know, the people controlling things or trying to control things, because I'm not doing very good with controlling anything anymore. They know this, and that's why they play on it, and that's why a worse and worse news story will hit. Another worse and worse news story will hit, because they know they've lost control and they want to regain it. They have this like, we must control the people again. We must control the people again. And we can't let them. We have to, starting small with our families, with our social circles, friend groups, with our larger communities, we have to take everything into our own hands, and from there see what we can do, what changes we can make, so that we're supporting each other in the family, supporting each other in our friend groups, in the widest communities, and that has this snowball ripple effect within the global community as well. And we collapse the systems crumble, and we build new ones where there's a holistic approach to things, to everything from healthcare to education, to food production. There's a holistic approach to things, and it starts with us. It starts with us. Call your power back, bring your power back to you, make a wise choice for what you do on a small level, baby steps, just one thing a day, that's aligned with nurturing yourself, because when you do that, you're then better able to show up for everybody else, whether it's your family, whether it's close friends who are having a hard time, whether it's the people, whether it's your employment, like the people that you work with, or the people you work for, and just remember that you're the one who has the choice. So, hopefully that helped somebody. Let me know below in the comments what resonated, what you felt helped. If it arose any more questions for you, or any more thoughts, anything that didn't resonate, and you feel like you'd like an expansion on, or anything anything at all, just drop comments below. And thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.